Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
The city of prosperity. Riches for some, but for the masses, scraping by is all they can do. Meet Bitna. It's a rough life, with an even harder reality. Living in the roughest part of town, it looks impossible to make it big. But maybe she will find it in a simple dress. The Radiant Sight, a new romance story by Martin Fisher, now on Indiegogo.
Con, if you missed it, so did our next guest. What's up, Matt?
Check it out.
Look.
I'm digging, man. I'm digging it. We're doing role reversal today. You got the steampunk hat, and I'm digging it.
Dude, it's all about Hat Club, bro. You know, it's all about Hat Club.
That's right.
I am surprised, though. I thought I was going to catch you out here scream punking. And
I mean, I could. I just got done watching NC State beat the brakes off of Florida State, so that's always good. So I gotta just be repping my boys.
Yeah.
See, you got you got red and black on over there, so you know what I'm saying. I feel like you're repping my boys too. So,
the red and black was I mean, I don't know if you saw the different costumes over the weekend.
I saw a little bit of it. I was really, really busy, but I saw a little bit of it.
This was Sunday.
Okay.
Steam Pops was Sunday. But I did Alice Cooper on Saturday. And the one I really liked was Friday night. Look, come on. You got Tommy Chong, Jerry Garcia. Pick something, man. You know, it was like.
Oh, crap. That's amazing.
I turned the kids loose with the white hair spray paint. And, you know, they sprayed the whole beard and everything. And then that night I had to wash it all off and wash it all out, shave everything off, to do Alice Cooper the next day.
Hey man, as long as you're having fun with it, all that matters, man. I'm down with it.
It was like our first themed CromCon, where we got to come out and just add a little something extra to it that was different. What's up, Glenn? We got Glenn in the chat checking us out.
Man? How you doing, my man?
We got lurkers. We got lurkers not talking, but somebody said, "Wow, what's happening?" How you doing, Matt? I ain't talked to you in a while, man.
Man, it has been so busy. It's like, let me tell you, I haven't had a Saturday where I haven't either had my daughter playing a game, a soccer game, refereeing, or a con that either I'm doing or Steph and I are doing together. And it's since mid-July. Mid-July has been the last time I had a free day on a weekend. And so it's been completely insane. Not complaining because I'm doing either stuff to pay the bills or supporting her or doing the business. And
stuff with your kids. It's all, hey man, it's all part of the package, right?
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. It's been absolutely nuts. And but that's good. That's what you want. If you're a creator and you're really busy, then that's a good thing. We just got to always keep it managed, because if we don't keep it managed, stuff gets a little bit frayed, and stuff will be like, we got 15 things to get done today. How are we going to get it done? And we just got to get down and get it grinding. But you know what? That's how we operate the best, is more just, grinding it out and getting things accomplished. But that's what we do all day.
Glenn says he's going to catch us tomorrow, but I'll bet you 15 minutes later he's going to be up watching again, because I know Glenn.
After midnight. So what is he over in England?
Yeah, he's in the UK, and it's like he'll do that all the time. Man, it's kind of like, guys, I'm out, and then you see him in the chat a half hour later, and it's like, yeah, we know.
All good in the hood, man. All good in the hood.
It just shows us that we're entertaining,
That's what you got to do, man.
I have a blast, man. I've been starting to pay attention to the watch hours and stuff, and it's like, I got 3,400 watch hours and I'm under 500 subscribers. The content must be good.
It better be something compelling, man. It better be something compelling. Either that or you have some very, very, very dedicated fans out there, man.
Well, we got some of those too, because there are a lot of people that watch our show just because we bring everybody on, know. I mean, it's like, you watch CromCon weekend, you're bound to see somebody you haven't seen before. You're bound to see a project you haven't seen before. And that's me. I'm always looking for those guys that just kicked off something or are new, I mean, the big guys, they get on all the big shows anyway. Yeah. It's, it's the mid and lower level guys that need the big push. So,
well, you got to mix it up too. You got to mix it up too, like you're saying, because if it's the same exact guys on every single show every single time, then it just becomes white noise. I mean, it's got to be different groups of people in front of different faces for different reasons. That's like, Steph and I, we try to, like, when we've got something new or we have a project that's happening, we try to do the typical, hey, we're going to make sure that we raise our live appearance profile. But then when we don't have something, we try to like pull back a little bit. That doesn't mean we try to make sure we still have a show or two a month. But we do that on purpose. One, because we want to make sure there's room out there for the other people that do have something going on. But also because
we're going to say that. But also actually said that to me before when I've invited you to come out, like for CromCon. You said, man, we got nothing going on. Save that spot for somebody who does. And I so totally respect that, but I still like having you on the show. You guys are
and I appreciate that too. Because we also want to make sure that when people, that we don't want people to get tired of us. It's like having like a local band that is like, hey, we're going to go play at the local bar. We're going to play there 8 times this month. Like, dude, there's no way you're going to get somebody that's going to come watch that band play 8 times, because there's only so much new stuff that they can do. So, make sure you get something new to talk about, something fun to talk about. And that's why, like, when there's, when you've got a Kickstarter going on, or you've got the fulfillment of the items coming out, or you've got live shows coming up, or some kind of event that's happening, that's when it's a lot easier to get on and talk, because you have some fresh angle on the things that you're doing. So,
yes. Now I saw something else. Did you say the MP3 is released?
Okay, so the album. So here's where we're at. So the album for the last Kickstarter, for those that are watching that don't know what we do, for myself and Steph Cannon, we run In Symmetry Creations, and we're mostly known for steampunk and time travel and medieval fantasy and death metal. And the last campaign we did actually merged all of those IPs together. We did a mashup album that had 5 songs for our steampunk time travel series, 5 songs for our medieval fantasy series, Heirs of Isildur versus Tales from Nocturnia. We did CDs and MP3s, and we also did splatter vinyl for the records. And we knew when we did this, we were going to have multiple release dates for the packages because comics and CDs all come in pretty quickly. Vinyl is like the slowest possible thing. Right. It's like you could get stuff shipped in on a container ship from China that's stuck out in the sea outside of LA right now quicker than you can get vinyl. Vinyl is like a 6 to 8 month process, and there's nothing you can do to speed it up. But what we said the other day was that we actually, when you do vinyl, they'll give you what's called a test pressing, where they press a couple copies of it and they actually send it to you, and you have to listen to the vinyl to make sure that it's acceptable. It's not like when you record music and you put it on MP3 or a CD, it's going to sound exactly the same. Right. If you are doing a comic and you get a prototype version from the printer to make sure everything is good, it needs to look exactly the same. With vinyl, going from digital to analog, there's going to be things that sound different. The EQ is going to be different based on the length of the side of each record that you have. The longer the side of the record is, the difference, there's going to be more differences in from the original EQ, so they can actually get it to fit on the side. Right. So they will send you these test pressings, and you have to listen through all 5 of the records, both sides of all of them, and make sure that they all sound right. And Steph and I got those, man, it's unbelievable that it was 2 Mondays ago, and it feels like it was like 87 years ago. But 2 Mondays ago, we got the test pressings in. We listened through, did all the analytics on it, compared it to MP3s, compared it to other stereo systems, listened to it with headphones, all that, and everything came out good. So we've officially approved the vinyl pressings to actually be done now. So now, I mean, we're at the beginning of November. We are still expecting to get them now end of January. And that's later than our original deliverable date. But there's literally nothing we could have done when we got this. When we did the Kickstarter campaign, we were told 3 to 4 months. After we did the campaign, it went from 3 to 4 months to 6 to 8 months. So unless we had a crystal ball in front of us, there's no way we would have known that the vinyl industry in the world was going to extend out that long. But that's where we stand. So yes, the vinyls are approved. Now it's just the waiting game. Yeah, I did want to get an update on that before we start talking about this amazing children's book. Absolutely. You guys know how it is. You guys know you get me with the children's books. I will promote anybody doing a children's book, even people I hate. Did I say hate? I didn't mean hate. People I don't like. But if you're doing a kid's book, you're going to get my attention, and you're probably going to get me to go out and talk about it because, geez, man, that's what it's about. It's about the next generation of readers, the next generation of creatives. I say it all the time. Well, I'd say one of the things about us, if you've ever seen what we do or the way that Steph and I interact with people at live shows, we always think about, would somebody be comfortable having their kid or their teen or whatever it may be being influenced by something that we're writing? Because no matter if your goal is to go out there and change somebody by what you're doing, or if you just want to provide them entertainment, there is going to be an influence on them. And we're cognizant of that. We're like, if we're going to be influencing somebody, we want it to at least be something positive. Right. Even if it's death metal, even if it's whatever it may be, we want it to be something that's going to be a positive, potential for positive influence out there. And one of our good friends, Richard Rivera, who is the head of Scoot for the Scout Comics publisher, he was like, I think you guys need to think about doing an all ages title because I think just knowing your personalities, you guys would be good at it. And, we've never really had somebody challenge us to be like, go out and try this thing. And, we're silly and we make up a bunch of silly crap all the time. And, we tried for a few months to put one together, and it was coming out a lot more serialized all ages, where it was basically the same kind of thing we were doing with Heirs and Nocturnia, just written for a little bit different audience. Right. And so Steph kept saying, hey, I'm not vibing on this for what we're looking for. I'm not vibing. Doesn't mean the story's not good, but one day she just said it at the right time, and we have a list of story ideas that we just keep. When we first started working together, we just put this thing together, 20, 30 different ideas out there, and every once in a while we'll go back out there and take a look. And it may be a story idea that we might want to turn into a series. We might be able to pull it out and turn it into just an episode of something. And we had one on there that I was like, what about this one? Why don't we try to take this one and kind of morph it around? And as we were working on that, I'm like, give me a silly animal. She's like, a ferret. And I was like, I'm going to pick a sloth. And right then, boom, we had the basis for Misfits Clubhouse. You have your 4 neighborhood kids, Miki, Stig, Fairy, and Sloth, that go into their clubhouse behind Miki's house, and they just go out there and play. And the thing is that the rub we try to make with this story is their imagination is so powerful that they might be changing the reality around them. They may not even be realizing it, because they want to take the most mundane thing in the world and make it into something huge, like make it into something that just blow it out of proportion. The first story we ever did for Misfits Clubhouse is called I Don't Want Any Asparagus. It's a 4-page story that's in Scoot Frontiers magazine #1. It's in and so we were like,
dude, look, say that again. I don't want any asparagus.
I don't want any asparagus is the first story we ever did. I'll show you the first page here. Like I said, it's in Scoot Frontiers magazine, issue #1. And you can see Miki's been told by her mom that she's going to be having some asparagus tonight. She is completely horrified, and you can see she's not having it. She is pretty upset about the fact. She's wanting to make sure all of her friends know that asparagus is not what's going to be happening tonight. But the thing where we talk about they really blow things out of proportion, Miki starts talking about how much she does not like asparagus, and if she was a pirate, she'd make that asparagus walk the plank. If the asparagus factory was on fire, she wouldn't put out the fire at the asparagus factory. If she was a football player, she'd blow right through the asparagus line. You see their little heads coming off of their football bodies. But that's basically what, the mindset is for Misfits Clubhouse. You take those things that just happen every day, little mundane things, and how can we make that thing into something interesting and insane? Because, as adults, we're always trying to take the things that happen in life, just be like, man, just let it roll off your back. It ain't no big deal. Just be calm, just like Pops is. Pops never lets anybody get under his skin. I've never seen anyone get under Pop's skin. I've never seen Pops lose his cool on anyone ever.
Whoa. Are you talking about that guy or this guy?
I've never seen any incarnation of Pops ever lose his cool on anybody. Always cool as the other side of the pillow. But
God, I wish that was seriously true. I really do. I wish I could be that nice of a guy. I do know people like that, but man, I've lived in too many different situations to not be that.
The Misfits to be the people that take those little things in life that just are basically nothing things and just blow them out of proportion and just show how big their imagination can be. So the issue that's on Kickstarter right now, there is literally 25 hours to go. Just put up a graphic about the kids saying, is anybody else going to come? They'll be here, Miki. They'll be here. Tomorrow night at 9:00 is the end of the campaign. The issue is super fun. It's got 2 stories in it. It's Pinball Madness and Dress Up Mess Up. And we don't refer to this as a kid's book, because we refer to this as all ages and family friendly, because we always look at there's certain terms out there that people have that when you see them, you kind of imagine it as something it's not really. What we mean by that is, like, you hear the term all ages and people think, oh, that's Blue's Clues, that's Sesame Street. No, that's not it at all. We think, like, if you turn on the TV and Gravity Falls is on, or Wreck-It Ralph, or Toy Story, or Fairly Odd Parents, you're probably going to stop and watch it no matter how old you are, because there's something in it that you can roll with.
Make me log in to do that. I have to reshare that again. Jeez.
But we look at it like it's entertainment that everybody can watch. Everybody can find something in, like Pinball Madness. As you saw, they play in their clubhouse. Pinball Madness starts off ironically enough where there is a lightning storm outside, and Miki's dad won't let him go outside and play. And so the kids are freaking out. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We can't go outside. This is horrible. And her dad says, well, I've got some stuff in the garage. You think you want to go take a look at some of my old collectibles? And they go out there and they end up, because of the lightning storm, finding themselves transported inside an alien planet pinball machine. And they have to play their way out, and they have to fight off, some of the aliens and things like that are inside the pinball machine. And that's what you see on that graphic that's right there at the top. That's them actually running away from an alien guard inside his pinballo droid that's trying to capture him and keep him trapped inside the pinball machine for all time.
That's a great concept, great idea, great story. I love just the concept of the pinball machine, I mean, can you imagine if you were a little guy running around inside there and they release 8 balls into the game?
I mean, just think about it, man. Just think about what would happen if you're inside there and the kids, it turns into reality for them, and they have to figure out how to work together to get out of there, because not all of them get transported inside the machine, and the most unlikely of the quartet is the one that has to learn how to play pinball to help them from the outside to get out of the machine.
This is great looking. Now, are those really socks, or is that a pin?
Those are actually socks. We are actually printing up silly socks for this campaign. So we wanted to do something different for this campaign, which if this is the 6th one we've done. The first 5 campaigns we've done were all just completely blow it out of the water, collectibles coming out of the woodwork, comic issues, graphic novels, metal albums, woodwork,
Dragon Lord masks.
Yeah, everything. For this campaign, we wanted it to be much more straightforward because of the type of book that it is. Right. It's not a book that's designed around people want to have these dragon collectibles and things like that. It's a lot more story based. So we went straight forward. We have 4 different variant covers. We love every single cover that's a part of this campaign. We have the super sweet sticker sheet. We actually made up sticker sheets that have got die cut out of there. Instead of just making up individual stickers, we have die cut sheets like you would go into like a toy store and get. And then we actually are printing up silly socks. We've done shirts before. We thought that socks would be the thing to do this time, because who doesn't like silly socks, man? That's some fun stuff.
Socks was a great idea. I mean, look, even Crom wants socks.
That's right. I'm telling you, man. That's what I'm saying.
Crom socks. See that? See the socks he's wearing? Look at that.
That's right. Yeah, those are.
Everybody's got to have cool socks, man.
Yeah, those will actually be socks. We're going to probably get those things ordered up. Probably in the next couple of days, we'll be ordering the socks and going from there.
I follow Ace Frehley, and he's been doing posts of his silly socks. Whatever he's watching, he had his feet up in front of him, and then the TV behind it is showing what he's watching, and talk about whatever video or whatever that he's watching, but focus on his socks as well. He did an Elvis one the other day. It was like, get the hell out. Ace is hilarious. I love people that are entertaining, man. They're trying to have fun. You guys, man. The day I met you, Steph, I'm sorry you couldn't be here. Miss you, baby. We'll get you next time. Look, top billing, you guys have always been fun. Since the first time I met you guys, you came out here. You were entertaining, you were enthusiastic, you were fired up, and you promote so many other people too. You go out in them Facebook groups and you don't just say, hey, everybody, check out my book. You go comment after comment after comment, dropping everybody else's links too. Like some of the mods that we have in some of these channels that will just go from channel to channel, dropping everybody's links. That's how everybody knows about people. You gotta keep doing that and doing it in maybe a foreign audience. You know what I mean?
I learned something a long time ago in the music world, and the phrase is people want to hear about a band and not from a band, because everybody can talk about their own product, and you do need to talk about your own product some, but there needs to be room for other people to talk about what you're doing, because that's going to hold a lot more weight. If you're somebody that doesn't have a dog in that fight, if you're somebody that doesn't have any skin in that game, where, like if a buddy of mine, if people going back his campaign, there's not any financial benefit to me or to our business, but if I'm not doing that for them, why would I expect anybody else to do it for me? You know what I'm saying? And if, the whole rising tide raises all ships, if I'm helping other people to grow, if Steph's helping other people to grow, that's going to make him more, it's going to be just going to be good karma for us. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't just always be about us. There's a couple creators that luckily aren't really in this community anymore that, I remember when we first started getting into Kickstarter, we watched a lot of people and how they interacted. And this guy was just like, me, you got to back me. You got to give me money. You got to give me money. And he would go a lot of negative guilt trips on stuff for people. But I never once saw him share anybody else's campaign or talk about anybody else's stuff. And I'm like, that turned me off from wanting to do anything for him, because it was just like, he was
only talking to his own audience.
That's right. And he was like trying to guilt trip people to come back him and to support him, but he wasn't ever doing anything to support anybody else. I'm like, it's a two-way street.
Yeah. It's actually like one of them roundabouts with a whole bunch of entrances. Because look, I mean, I've kind of changed that rising tide analogy myself a little bit. I consider it more, you have people that play in little sandboxes, and then you have this great big football field over here. Okay. Yep. You can be in your sandbox, in your echo chamber, talking to your fans. And that's cool. Your fans are buying your stuff. That's great. But if you come out here on the field where the teams are, and y'all start talking about each other and your teammates, and the YouTubers are all sharing information with each other. Hey, man, you need to get this guy on your show. You need to get that guy on your show. And groups like mine, where I show everybody's podcasts. I tell everybody share that stuff here so that my people in the group can find their podcasts and they can go get on them shows too, right? Yep. It's a team effort. If you're over there in your sandbox, that's cool. You're making your fans happy, but you're not increasing your fan base. If you're out there on the field being part of the team, your fan base is going to grow.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you on that. Completely agree with you. And I'll tell you, Steph wanted to be here tonight. Steph is actually getting prepared, and there's not a whole lot to do to prepare for, but she's getting prepared to run her 19th half marathon tomorrow morning. So this is actually going to be the second time that Steph has had her. I think she just ran a 10K the last time. But it was 10K the last time. She's doing a half marathon the day we end our campaign tomorrow. So she had a bunch of stuff she has to do to get things ready and, things positioned and all that. Because when you do that, you're basically there's a whole day of recovery and all that to it. So I said she wanted to be here.
Do you have a Steph completes the run tier?
We don't, but we sure as heck could. If somebody wants to throw something in there, we could make it happen.
We gotta figure something out real fast right now. Something.
How about this? For every mile that Steph runs tomorrow, then you contribute X amount.
There you go. Yeah, it's just like pledging. A March of Dimes runner or something.
That's right. It'll be $13.10 for the backing on that tier.
Yeah. Just like you guys, do it as an add-on, okay, to an existing campaign. Somebody has already pledged. If you want to throw another $13 on there, just because Steph completed, or if Steph completes, and you want to throw another $13 on there, or a kids charity, or for comic books for kids, or for any of them, your choice. But you can do that. You can do that as an add-on, and
that's pretty funny.
Dude, I'm all about, lately the kids charities and stuff have really gotten up. I should have been doing that from the beginning. That should have been a big part of what I was doing from the beginning. And, I'm learning as I go, right?
Hey, if you're not learning, you're just decaying, because if anybody ever feels like they know it all, then they really don't know anything. That's why professional athletes still go out to practice every single day.
Wait a minute, practice? You're talking about practice?
That's right.
Oh man, that's still a gift, right?
Absolutely, that'll always be for all time. Oh yeah, just like playoffs. What are we talking about? Playoffs.
Practice.
That's right. You got to. That's all. That's right, man. That's right. When you've made it into a gift, then you know you've made it.
You know I'm a gift, right?
Are you? Where show me your gift, man. What gift for you? Hopefully it's not you losing your cool on somebody.
No, it's if you go on Twitter,
okay,
and you type Van Zant into the gift bar, you will see pops.
All right. Well, you know that I'm gonna turn sideways here really quick, and I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna see what comes up.
It's like the fourth one over around the top row.
Is it one word? VANSANT?
No. VAN space ZANT.
I don't see it. I'll look it up later. I'll find it.
Hold up. I'll show it to you because
I'm sure you have it.
I mean, I'll show it to you on Twitter. I'll pull it up. I'll share the screen real quick. We got no time constraints unless you do, so we definitely have time to cover this campaign.
Oh yeah, we do. Like I said, I got about an hour total. Like I said, I got to eat. I got some stuff I got to. I got to be up early in the morning because I have to ref in Gainesville. I don't know if you saw my crazy story about what happened last week while reffing, but yeah, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, I did see your crazy story. This is the gift anyway. That is what it is, man. That's what it is. Now I got to get back in the right studio again. I had to go in a different studio to find that. That's pretty bad. I don't have all my stuff in one place where it's supposed to be, you know. I got a studio for every different kind of show that I have.
Okay.
You know, I mean, First Timer has its own studio, Special Edition, Monday Madness, CromCon, because I use different stuff.
Yeah. I get you.
You know, and I can't just load all that stuff in there.
Yeah, then your system that's grinding to a halt over there will seriously, explode. But yeah, so Misfits Clubhouse we have up here. Like I said, now we got about 25 hours left. It ends tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have
94 backers. I want to see 100 backers, y'all.
We would love to see that too. I mean, we had different expectations for this campaign than we for any of the other ones we've done, because when you're doing a book like this and a series like this where the demographic is going to be a little more, everything we do is animated and drawing and all that, but when it's a little bit lower, you're selling to the person who's going to buy it for someone, even though they're going to like it. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, we know every single person that's buying this stuff is going to like the book themselves, but they just don't think they do because it's not dragons or the death metal or things like that. But we had realistic expectations of what this campaign was going to be able to do. And, like I said, we're about where we hoped it would be. I mean, obviously we want to finish on a high note with our backer count and with the dollar amount. And, the more we're able to do, the more we're going to be able to create more and quicker stories for Misfits. And one of the good things about Misfits is all the stories are self-contained. It's not like you've got like an Heirs and Nocturne where you've got the big overarching long arcs and you have universes and lore and all this kind of stuff. I Don't Want Any Asparagus and Pinball Madness and Dress Up Mess Up are all self-contained. We've already got scripts or bases for about 5 or 6 more stories, but they're all shorter. They're all 4 to 8 pages in most cases. There's going to continue to be a presence in Scoot Frontiers magazine. That's the intention for Misfits Clubhouse. The first issue of Misfits Clubhouse in Scoot Frontiers came out over the summer, and the reception we got to it was so good that we were just like, man, we need to get people so they can have their first issue of Misfits Clubhouse in their own hand, where Misfits is the front cover and all that. But then it's also going to go back into Frontiers. So you're going to see it a lot in 2022. You're going to see the name pop up a lot, whether it be individual issues or as a feature in Scoot Frontiers magazine. It's going to be all over the place.
It's amazing. I like it already. Now I know this thing ends in 24 hours.
Yes.
I'm in one of those holding patterns.
Okay.
I can't spend no money till I replace my tower.
Okay.
But please hold on to one of these for me on the side. I will get it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're definitely going to have definitely going to have some prints of it though, because we have shows we do. We've actually, just from having some posters and Scoot Frontiers at our table at some of the shows we've done recently, it's been a really interesting dynamic because there are people that may not have stopped at our table previously, but now there's something that catches the kids' eye because we'll have the little sloth up there and the Misfits Clubhouse. We have a section for that stuff at our table, and the kid will stop and they'll be like, oh, what is this? And now that the parent has stopped or the adult has stopped and they want to take a look at the other stuff, we've had people walk out, hey, I got, the Heirs trade paperback and the Nocturnia trade paperback and Scoot Frontiers and a poster. And, so they've gotten stuff for across every demographic that could be in their house.
Yeah.
So I will definitely have some more.
I just got Michael Gonzalez. I had ordered the tier that he had, the book that his daughter did.
Okay.
It was called SHH.
Okay.
And it's like 2 books. They're like just like 10 pages or 12 pages, but I got them for the kids. And they got here yesterday. Okay. Dude. And, again, comic books for kids. If you bought them, then they also sent a copy of each to the children's hospital, to the charity for the children's hospital. So it's like something I got to double down on. I got to get some for the grandkids here and make sure that a copy of each book went to a children's hospital for kids there. Can't beat those kind of things, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, man. That's a great idea.
And his daughter, she's like 9 years old. She made the book. And that instantly, my grandkids are going, oh, well, we could do that. Here we go. And we're off.
Well, I see you've got the campaign stopped on the characters. We could talk about them if you want. So you got the 2 actual kids are Miki and Stig. Miki is the youngest and the most emotional and most expressive in the way that she goes about saying what she wants to do. She's bright-eyed and bushy-haired, and is going to definitely let you know what she thinks about stuff, and not gonna. I mean, you see how it is in I Don't Want Any Asparagus. She's going to tell you what she thinks, and she's not going to leave anything to the imagination in that respect. Stig is the older one of the group, and they kind of see him as the leader, but he's not really a leader. He's just the one that is more like the foundation. Everybody else has got a big, wild personality, or they've got a very developed, specific entity or part of their personality. He's the one where like he's here and everybody else kind of branches off from it. And then Fairy, he is a ferret, and he thinks he's the coolest kid on the block, but obviously he's a ferret, but he's just a little bit off. Everybody's been around one of those guys that thinks they're cool, but they're just like one step away from actually being as cool as they think they are. And that's Fairy for you. So Fairy thinks he's the cool kid on the block, and everybody's kind of like, "Come on, Fairy, what's going on, man? Just hang out, just be cool. You don't have to try and be cool to be cool. By trying to be cool, you're not as cool as you would be if you just chilled out." And then last but not least is our lovable sloth, who happens to be named Sloth. He doesn't even need a name. Maybe he doesn't even remember his name. Maybe they never named him. Maybe his parents forgot. But Sloth is, he's a pretty intelligent dude. He's not the fastest moving guy out there, but he's quick of thought. He's very intellectual, and he's not really confident in a whole lot of things except for his bowl cut. If there's one thing he's confident in, is how cool his bowl cut is.
That's awesome.
And then you got the clubhouse. The clubhouse is where they meet up. That's where they all congregate, and that's where all their adventures normally start from. But the big question is the clubhouse where the imagination is birthed, or is it birthed there? That's just where they meet. Is it the kids, or is it the clubhouse that makes the imagination run? Kind of like Snoopy's doghouse, you know what I'm saying? There's a role for Snoopy's doghouse, but then again, or the mystery machine on Scooby-Doo. Which one of those things does the Scooby Gang make the mystery machine, or does the mystery machine, you link the Scooby Gang together?
So I'm like, as always, I'm impressed with everything you guys do. But it's like you shifted gears from, Tales from Nocturnia to let's have fun, kids.
Shifted gears from all this.
You pulled it off, though. I'm saying you pulled it off. Yeah. Put that back up there.
All right. So shifted gears from the Heirs of
all of
Isildur,
that.
Tales from Nocturnia, the metal CDs, all that stuff.
Yes, and just shifted gears right into, I mean, like good art that would attract kids, like, straight to the Cartoon Network type of look from what you do. I'm seriously impressed. You guys are showing me a lot more than I knew was in there.
We definitely appreciate that, and I will say that we definitely did a lot of research and a lot of study, because the way that we have to construct the Misfits Clubhouse stories is completely the opposite of the way that we do all of our normal stories, and it actually pulls a lot more on where the strength that Steph had when she and I met, because she was the queen of the one-page comic. She did a lot of 1 to 8 page stories at that point, where she was in a lot of anthologies and up to being a lot of anthologies with the shorter stories that she did. And you have to construct stories. You have to think about things in a lot different way when you are doing quick one-offs. There has to be a concept and a climax or a conclusion that can be told in 1 to 4 to 8 pages. So it kind of pulled on a different piece of our brains as we were writing, and it made it fun, because we're like, okay, people say, hey, you guys find something and you want to lean into it, and that's what we do. And we knew for Misfits Clubhouse we had to have the right artist. Raheel Mohsen is definitely that right artist. He's the covers you have up there, 2 of the 4 covers are actually his. The top left is Alien Guard, which is what the main image is on the campaign. And as you can see, that's the Alien Guard in his pinballo droid that is trying to capture our 4 kids from inside the pinball machine. To the right of that, the ones with the one that's got Sloth close to the screen, that is called Time Warp. That's actually by teen phenom Seda Wolf. She actually has her own series on Scout Comics called Soulstream, and she wrote it when she was 13, signed her first publishing deal at 15, and just put out her first graphic novel version of it, trade paperback, at 17 years old. And we did a show with her in Washington, D.C. over the summer, and we're just really vibed with her and her family, and thought about some of the same ways, and we felt that her art style was going to be something that was really going to work well with what we did. And I think it probably only took a couple of days from concept to her finishing the cover. And that cover, we call it Time Warp because it's a mashup of the Soulstream style with our kids. So the kids look a little bit older. It's a little more aged to where the Soulstream characters are, but it's our characters. So that's why it's Time Warp, because they've kind of warped and grown up just a little bit for that cover. The bottom left is called To the Moon, and that is basically the first image you think of when you think about Misfits Clubhouse. Them in their little red wagon is the first image that was ever drawn for Misfits Clubhouse. And so that's them going to the moon. They're in their wagon. They can pretty much go wherever they want when they're in the wagon. And they're going off to the moon. Who says they can't? So you get to see the 4 kids and the clubhouse there in that image. And then last but not least is the cover that started off the campaign as the secret cover. It's not so secret anymore. That cover is called Down the Drain, and it is drawn by a very well-known children's book author and artist named Richard Fairgray. He's from New Zealand. Now he's split his time between Canada and Hollywood. And he's got over 200 credits to his name, and he's somebody that I became friends with at the beginning of the pandemic. There was a call for Fanbase Press. They have a call every week that people get on and just share their stories and whatnot. And he and I became fast friends on that call. And when he saw we were doing Misfits, he's like, hey, I think that my style would be good. What do you think about me doing a variant cover? And here we go. And with Pinball Madness being a story about pinball, and Down the Drain as a play on words with that, you see the pinball, but also all 4 of our characters about to go down the drain on there. But so we're really happy to be able to get these 4 covers, because they all very much stuff you would never see on Heirs of Isildur or Tales from Nocturnia or the other things we do. So we were glad to be able to get that style and have that represented in our overall in-sim offerings.
Dude, you're killing it. You're killing it, Matt, just like always.
We try.
There's the socks.
So those stickers, that sticker sheet, just so you know, you first want to really know this. Tomorrow night when Steph and I will have a 1 hour wrap up for the campaign. We actually have those sticker sheets. We just got them in. We'll actually show those things in person on our live stream tomorrow night for those sticker sheets.
And what channel is that going to be on? Let everybody
That's
know.
just going to be on my, our Facebook feeds.
Okay.
It's going to be off the Facebook
Make sure
feeds.
You
and
drop
shared
that in the madness.
Oh yeah, we absolutely will.
You know, I mean, we're doing kind of a day before the countdown now. I just wanted to get you out and talk about this on our channel before it was over, man.
I'm telling you,
I've been busy. It's
yeah, you've asked and you're like, hey man, what do you think about getting on? I'm like, dude, we don't have the schedule is full. I mean, this week was nuts. I did 7 shows in 3 days, and for me, with the other things that are going on, that was completely ludicrous. Just because to have 5.5 hours of shows in one day alongside of doing our normal business and other things that were going on. And you can do that every once in a while, but I'm not Pops Van Zandt when he started that could do, 6 hours a day. I just didn't have that, man.
Dude,
but
look,
yeah, it was tough. It was
tough. This last weekend, Friday night, all day Saturday, 12 hours, all day Sunday, 12 hours, 5 hours on Monday. Took a day off on Tuesday, had 2 shows on Wednesday, forgot a show on Thursday. I had so much going on that I totally spaced a show.
That's hilarious, man.
No, it's not. I had to take a break and just not do nothing for a day, I mean, because, dude, that's not me to forget something that's totally scheduled. I mean, I'm looking right at it in my calendar and then I'm not there.
No, I feel you, man. Hey, it's that you can only do so much. It's like when you're at a con, and we talked about there's some of the shows that we've done that have had 10-hour days and are nobody wants to be there for 10 hours because your brain can only handle so much, and then you'll do 4 10-hour days and you're you don't even know what end is up.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm not going to do anything till Monday. Look at me right now.
That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes.
I'm dedicated to the people in this. It's I can't wait till Monday. I can't, this will be over. We got to get you out here and get you out here before it's over. It's
I feel you, man. And I do appreciate you having us on. Like I said, we definitely want to, we're hoping to finish strong. Like I said, it's a different kind of campaign. We hope people give it a chance because it's, we really believe in the stories. The stories are fun. They're not the big overarching, really deep thoughts, stories that we normally do, but there's still stories people can relate to. I mean, if you're an adult, you're like, oh man, I remember going to the arcade and playing the pinball machine, or I remember that type of pinball machine. And I remember having those kind of collectibles. And if you're a kid that you're like, holy crap, that's so amazing. They're on a pinball machine. That's the greatest adventure ever. I mean, we want to make sure there's something where everybody can latch onto it.
And I want you to know, I'm going to leave this as the featured video on the channel until it's over.
That sounds good to me.
So it'll get all the replay it can get.
Yeah, I'm appreciating that. I am appreciating that. And as you see right there, you have the add-on show. And one of the things we always do, especially when it's on brand, because we don't do anything that is completely off brand. Everything could be on the same table, and you could have a kid, have someone 8 years old or someone 80 years old go one way or the other on the table and feel like it could still be appropriate for them. We make sure if you're a brand new person that is just happening upon our campaign right now, that if you want to, you're like, oh crap, I saw that dude had, metal CDs and a medieval thing up there. Those things are available in the campaign as well. So there's a couple of them in the tiers, but if we try to put as many of those things as we can in the add-ons, we don't go to the extent like we do on our other campaigns where we've got every single combination of variant covers and different things like that, because of the type of campaign this is, and we didn't want Misfits Clubhouse to get lost in everything else. But if you're like, dude, I heard you guys have this awesome series of Garbage Pail Kid homage covers that you did, can I get them along with your Misfits Clubhouse? Yeah, we'll figure it out, man. We'll find a way to make that happen.
I forgot about those, man. Yes, you do have Garbage Pail Kid covers, don't you?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We love those things. I'd love to see us be able to do some more of those. And you know what? The artist that did those, he didn't win it for anything he did for us, but Walter Alsey just won a Ringo Award. He just won a Ringo Award for Metal Shark Bros. So we're like, man, that's cool. We have that 1 degree of separation from a Ringo Award winner, awards that actually really count and really matter.
Now, I want everybody to know, whenever in the group you see me refer to hashtag top billing or Scream Punk, I'm talking about Steph and Matt. I hashtagged them with that the first time I met them. It was like that whenever I'm talking about them in the chat or on Facebook in the group or whatever, these guys, that's who I'm talking about. Those guys right there. And I don't hashtag too many people, y'all. Matter of fact, I don't think there's any other individual people that I hashtag. So
well, we told Raheel, we wanted to make sure we had some good caricatures of everyone that's affiliated with the team on the campaign, and that's his version of Steph and I. And we said, hey, as long as you make sure we're twinning, because we always try to make sure we twin at shows. And he decided to make purple paisley pants and mustard yellow spats and a jacket. So we're like, I guess we have a challenge now. We got to find the stuff so we can. And Steph's got big, gigantic pink clown shoes. You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure out how to make it work.
The purple hat, dude. Look, those are Vikings colors right there, purple and gold. I'm down. So.
Yeah, you know what? I guess he did. He did make us some Vikings fans. What is going on with that? and then Raheel is over there in his. I think that's supposed to be a wagon, but then now that I look at, I think he's in his flying cat litter box with his little cat. And I'm like, maybe he is. Maybe he's in a flying cat litter box. But you know what?
Heading into space, though, from the looks of things, heading to space.
He's heading to space because of the Pinball Madness story of being in space. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he's the flying cat litter box in space. And then Richard, who is the editorial consultant, he's not the official editor of the series, but he provides a lot of editorial insight and does have a lot of involvement in the series. So that's why we felt like it was appropriate to make sure he was represented because, he's got to be, because he had a big hand in directing us into making sure that we were creating this kind of content.
Cool. That's amazing. You guys did killer. Let's check out these tiers real quick. You got the PDF. All right. You can get the PDF. You can just give Steph money because she runs.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do that.
We got the PDF.
Without a reward. You can just give Steph money because she runs.
The tiers are pretty simple. They're pretty simple to start off. We have the PDF. Then we have one tier for each of the 4 covers. Then we also have a tier with each of the 4 covers and Frontiers magazine. We're able to include our stock of the physical copies of Frontiers magazine. So if that way somebody's like, hey, I want to get all the stories of Misfits Clubhouse, they can. They're also going to get some other awesome stories from Scout Comics in there as well. We've got you want to get we want to get one and give one to a friend. We got one of those in there. We've got one where you get all the covers, all the covers in Frontiers. We still have a couple Draw Me Ins left where people can get drawn in. If it wasn't, I would say this, if it wasn't for the Draw Me Ins, we probably have all the inks for the story done right now. But when you have Draw Me Ins, you can't have everything finished until the end of the campaign. But right now we are, as far as the inks go, we are like 1 page away from having all the inks for the entire issue done right now. I mean, there's still some little tweaks here and there to be done, but for all practical intents and purposes, the inks for the entire issue is done right now, other than the stuff we need to finish off Dress Up Mess Up, which is where people have the ability to get drawn in. But yeah, it's moving along really well. In the tiers, if you're an audiophile, if you're somebody that really wants to get your digital, if you're overseas, like, man, I don't want to be paying $37 in shipping. We've got all of our digital content. We've got our digital content with the audio in there, physical copies of things. Like I said, we try to make sure everything that's, if you're in Sim fan or a fan of Top Billing and Scream Punk as you want to call us, that way you can get everything that we possibly can get there for you. We have a tier where we throw everything in there. Every variant cover we have, there's like 43 different variant covers we still have in stock. Woodwork, leatherwork, the things that we still have in hand, we'll throw them in a giant box and get them over to you.
Oh, I had to do that. I'm sorry. I had to drop something in the chat real quick. For our friend Chris Evans, I don't know if you know Sugar Chris over there at Morning Roast. But
I feel like I know the name.
Okay. Well, he likes to be drawn in. Usually drawn in and killed. But he likes to be drawn into books, okay? but people like to draw Chris in a red dress. And I'm just thinking, Chris Evans drawn in, dress up, mess up. It works.
I'm telling you what, he needs to get himself up on the tiers. I'm telling you what, it's only his 25 hours for the campaign. That's what's left. You know what I'm saying? There's still a couple of them left in there. In that tier, you've got I think you've got every cover and the socks and the stickers and Frontier. I think everything is in there plus that, you know what I'm saying, to make it worth your while. And with it being this kind of campaign, and Dress Up, Mess Up being a story that's very thematic for the season that we are in or just got out of. But I mean, Halloween and dress up season is all year round. Kids are excited about going trick-or-treating, and one of them is just like, man, I'm not really sure that this is my jam this year. They're trying to convince him. And, you know, is he going to, you know, come around before the whole event is done, or is he going to stick to his guns and, you know, be too big for it? But people have a chance to get drawn in. You might be somebody walking down the street just in a costume. You might be somebody behind a door.
Yeah, Chris, just hey, if he buys the drawn in tier, put him in a red dress. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? If that's what happens, you know what I'm saying. You get him hooked up, and we'll make it happen. But he's, you know, get him some knowledge.
I tagged him in the madness on this right here.
Chris Evans, you need to do it. You need to do it, because I think that Pop's you're gonna put a smile on Pop's face. You already are putting a smile on Pop's face.
Dude, I get a lot of smiles out of this group, out of this whole thing. I do. Otherwise, you know, I wouldn't be coming back.
I feel you, man. I feel you. So let me ask you a question.
Right.
I'm going to interview you for a second. So
okay.
I know when you started doing this, you started this at the beginning of the pandemic, and you said, man, I really want to be able to take what I'm doing and go do it at some live shows. And I saw that you were able to actually go to some shows. How was the experience of going to a con for you as the host of your shows? Were you like, man, this is everything I thought it was going to be? Or are you like, man, this is definitely not what I thought it was going to be? Or tell us about the experience you had at those cons.
It was okay. The first time we had no idea what we were going to do, right? So for me, it was more of a walk around, shake people's hand, tell them who I am, what I do, get their business cards, so that when I got home, I could invite all these people to the madness, show them what we do. We've had some of them on the shows. You know, we've met some really cool people, local people that I didn't know anything about, Matt.
Right.
You know, and now they're part of the madness, and they're part of what we're doing. Now, the second time when we went to, Brad Arney is my guy, okay? He gives me a ride to the con. He's the guy behind the camera. He's my dude. All right.
Okay.
Without Brad, none of this happens. Okay. Let me get that out front straight up. Without Brad, this don't happen. So then we went to Hall of Heroes down in Elkhart, Indiana.
Okay.
And we had a little better idea of what we were doing. Walked around, interviewed a few people live, you know, interviewed the one of the coordinators of the con, you know, actually did what we're supposed to be doing there, on top of, again, networking with new people, meeting new people, and bringing new people to the show. Now, on the 13th, we're going back to Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Okay.
Okay, so Indie Bolt's setting up there, Phoenix Animation. Bunch of people now that I know are going to be setting up there. Randy's still in the hospital, so I told Barry, and if he needs my help at the table, I got him, whatever. You know, I mean, I'm going to be doing what I do. But this time, people know me. Yep. Going back. You know, it's like all these people that were there last time. Oh, Pops, what's up? This time I have a few things to give away. This time, if I get lucky, I'll even have business cards stand out. But I got to get really lucky between now and then for that to happen. But I mean, I don't care either way. I'll take their business cards. I will contact them the next day. You know, I will make sure that they know this is the link to the madness. Come see what we do. Drop your projects. Let us know. We spread the word. Be on the show. Whatever. You know, I mean, that was the whole thing. It was just networking and promotions, just like online, but in person. And, you know, taking pictures of cosplayers and just having a good time. You know, We had a blast both times. I told Brad, I said, we're up for press passes. I got my press passes for GRCC on the 13th. I said, are you down? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm there. You know, Brad's having fun. I'm having fun. And, you know, this time GRCC in the fall is a little bigger than the first one. So there's going to be more people there. You know, I mean, it's a bigger venue and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it.
How many people do you think go to those shows? So like, what do you think the attendance is of those?
Well, I mean, I don't.
I mean, it might be hard for you to guess because you've never been to shows before. But
well, I mean, it's like they weren't empty. There were people there buying stuff. You know, there was a damn cosplay conga line of 100 people running through the place. You know, I mean, it was pretty live, both of them. I didn't see what I thought was going to be the huge fall off of bands coming out. You know, I really thought there was going to be like, you know, at first I was afraid. I thought it was going to be Ghost Town, you know, and it wasn't. And there was people showing up and it was live in 2 different states, 2 different cons. You know, both of them had, from what I could tell, real good attendance. Now, Hall of Heroes, the first time we went a few years ago, was in I think it's a smaller venue. So it was way more cramped. There wasn't, you know, the near the room for the vendors areas or nothing. It was like pretty small.
Right.
The place that they did this time was much bigger. We had a lot more area. There's more room for extra vendors there now. Actually, I'm just letting you. They could have fit a few more people in there. They got a much bigger building now for doing it. It was fun. You know, it was wide open, man. We had a blast, and you know they had food trucks and everything outside, all ribs and tacos, and you know just all the different types of food trucks outside. So that, you know, everybody could get more than just your concession stand fare.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you could go out and you had an option, what you wanted to eat. It was cool. Hall of Heroes sets up really well.
In 2022, we definitely want to get to a lot more shows than we got to. I mean, we got to a lot of shows this year. But, you know, we're trying to get to some different shows than we've been to before. One of the things we've already noticed that kind of sucks is we have a few shows that we are, you know, we're regulars at that we expect to be at next year, but they end up being on the same day, and we're like, crap. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not sure what to do about that because, you know, we have a presence at both of them, and they now are on conflicting dates, and we've had that on a couple of shows. We'll put a calendar together even of shows that we don't expect to be at, but just so we know when the big ones are falling, because if a big one is falling on the same day as a small one, that could affect attendance if they're near each other. And there's a few dates next year. We're just like, why are there so many shows that are hitting on the same day?
Now, this was something I wanted to ask you. And I'm glad you brought that up because I know you guys do hit a lot of shows. Now, did you have a problem last year? I'm not trying to pry in your business. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But did you guys have the issue last year where people were hitting you with, you're not getting your table feedback, we'll just give you a table next year?
So luckily for us, we didn't have any issues with that. We had one situation that there was just some complication on it, and it wasn't because they didn't want to. It wasn't like a refund thing. It was we had split a table with an individual at a show, and they were more than happy to have it put off till the following year, but we needed to do it this year. But the show was really good with it. We found a way to get that split up so that we could still attend, and he was still on the bill for the year following. But we were actually really good with the shows in Florida. But then again, we also didn't have a whole lot of where we were trying to get our money back from shows. We were just because we had shows that we paid for at the end of 2019.
Yeah,
and
that's
also
what I'm saying. I did have one person. I mean, and there could be more, but I have one person that told me, he's like, I told 2 different shows that. Yeah, they could keep the money and just I'll get a table next year. And both of those shows decided to do the same weekend.
Yeah, we didn't have any issues with that.
Out the money out. he's like out the money on one of them either way, right? Because he can only be at one, and he agreed to, yeah, okay, I'll come next year, but then now he has to choose one.
Yeah, but hopefully those shows are going to be, one of them is going to be understanding, because I mean we are in some crazy times, and people have had to do some pretty wild things. Steph was at the first con to be back in the whole country, which actually happened in July of 2020, which was Collective Con Jacksonville. And so we got to see people trying to make it work. It was the first show that had mask mandates, hand sanitizer, social distancing, even on tables. I was the panel host moderator, and even in the panel room, you had 6 feet between every single chair in the room. So you have like 100 people in the room that are just like, but the room is like, it felt like it was half a football field long, because you had everybody with 6 feet between the chairs. But everybody was like, hey, whatever we have to do to make it work. We just want to get back out here, and we want to do these things. Yep. And it's been good. I know that a lot of people want to slag Florida about stuff, but Florida was the one that was at the forefront of making sure that people knew how to put cons back on. Florida was doing shows for months before anybody else in the country was doing it. Yep. And so that's most people have been willing to work with you. So hopefully that's what continues to happen, because that would be unfortunate for your buddy if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that was what I told him. I said, man, one of them's got to work with you, and if they don't, you just go to the other show.
Absolutely.
You don't give that guy your business no more. Go to the other show. And if they will work with you, great. But I mean, it does kind of suck. I was seeing that happen last year, where at first they were all scheduling later in the year. They were all like, we're going to do something in September or October, like turning off all the spring shows and saying we're going to come out in the fall. And then it didn't happen in the fall either. You know what I mean? It was like,
I can tell you, there's still going to be one bout of craziness that's still going to happen in 2021. In 2021, you've got 3 of the major cons in the country that are all hitting on back-to-back weekends in December. Yeah. Like, who in their right mind would go to LA Comic-Con, C2E2, and Emerald City, Seattle in December? I'm like, that's craziness. But December through, but that's as far back as they could push them to still have it be in the year. So hopefully all those shows go off without a hitch. And, hopefully the people that are wanting to attend, all of them can. But that seems crazy to be in LA, Chicago, and Seattle. Christmas 3 back-to-back weekends in December seems crazy.
Yeah, Christmas time. That's rough on everybody. I mean, you got fans that go to all 3 of those shows.
Absolutely, you do.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey.
We have friends of ours that attended the last time all 3 of them happened. They attended all 3 of them in the same year, and I'm like, there's just no way they're going to be able to do that.
Just the big boys. They'll be at all of them, And they worked for it. They earned it. I ain't taking nothing away from any of them,
Oh yeah.
I'm really proud of people that put in the work. You and Steph, you guys put in the work. Steph gets more travel hours than anybody I know.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I know a lot of people. I don't know anybody that's on a plane as much as Steph Cannon. So, I ain't lying. I don't know nobody, man.
I tell you, it's tough. I mean, hopefully we can consolidate. We always try to consolidate, whether it's Kickstarter fulfillment or shows, so that way if she's traveling, there's multiple items to happen. It's not like, hey, I'm going to fly out here for one show, because you can't really financially make that make sense. It's, hey, we got 2 shows this weekend, or like 2 one-day shows, or we've got shows this weekend and shows the weekend after that. And then we've got Kickstarter fulfillment in between. Try to make sure there's something we can make the best use and be most efficient when the travel's happening.
Have you guys figured out what you're going to do when you get too old to do this coast to coast shit? Which one's moving where the other one lives?
Well, I can tell you right now, the original plan was always that she, for other reasons, her family talked about moving to Florida before this was even a case, because she lives in the worst air quality area in the country. Like, literally, the county she's in is the worst air quality in the country. People think about LA as the worst air, but where she lives, like, all the smog from LA settles in the valley where she's at. So so they've talked about moving out here. That was what their goal was for their family, to get them out here. Cool. And that would be great. That would be great if that happened, because that would change up the way that we run our business in a lot of different ways.
Oh, so, man, it would make it so much easier on you guys. so much easier on you guys, man.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, we're not definitely not making plans on that because, you know, there's been talks about that happening before and just things didn't work. And then obviously with COVID, you know, nobody's doing any kind of moving during COVID. So we'll see what happens. We'll see when that happens. But for now, we are making this work.
Hopefully that pushed the needle a little bit, though. Hopefully it pushed the needle a little bit. What's up? That's my niece right there. What's up?
I was just gonna say, hopefully that's your niece, because if it wasn't your niece, I'd be like, do I know you? I'd be like, is there something I need to know? Is there something I need to know?
No, that's my niece right there. How you doing, little Tony? What's up? Hope you're doing well. Love you and miss you too. Ain't coming back to Arizona though. No. Hate that place. What can I say? I mean, 35 years there. It got to, man, look, that last summer I spent there, I couldn't even go outside. It was so hot. It was like I'd go outside and it would just drain the energy right out of me. And I was a guy who played ball every weekend, summer, you know, played golf in the summer, all for years and years. And man, just that last year, it just like got me. Yep. I was like, I got to get out of here. So I went to Texas, of all places.
I don't think
exactly. Shake your head like, how does that better? Go ahead, shake your head.
Yeah, I don't think that really worked. But now you're in the freaking almost Canada. And,
I'm the southwest part of Michigan's really mild.
Like I said, I'm in Florida, so that means to me you're in almost Canada. It was in the 40s here today. I mean, it was freaking cold for Florida. I'll tell you.
Oh,
when people hear 40s in Florida, when people hear 40s in Florida, it is cold, man. It is cold. It is like little knives that just cut right through you because it's so humid. It sucks. Well, hey, Pops, I'm gonna have to run. I gotta go eat. I gotta be up early in the morning. I gotta go ref, and hopefully there's not any more deer parts on the field in the morning.
Oh, dude, we found parts on the golf course not that long ago. There was a carcass in the sand trap, and it was like, man.
Yeah, it was a fresh kill, and we found deer guts on the field, and we're like, man, we can't let these people play, and then we got to find a way to get them off the field. It was humorous. Yeah. It was a story. It was worthy. And then we had the vultures come after that, and like every vulture in the county is like, oh crap, there's a fresh deer kill, and they picked that thing dry. It was just a rib cage left, man. We're like, It happened from the course of a game. We started the game with a deer carcass over there and ended the game with nothing but a rib cage, perfect for Halloween.
Wow. No fun watching that, huh?
Yeah. Well, I had to tell the keeper on that side of the field, the goalie, I'm like, hey, man, if these vultures get in your way, because the carcass was like 15 yards off the field, but it was right there where you could see it the whole time. Like, if these vultures get in your way, let me know. We'll stop the game for a little bit, or we'll shoo them away. But it's one of those crazy things that happens, man.
Wildlife soccer, I love it.
Yeah. Well, man, like I said, I'm gonna have to roll, but we'll give you one more quick thing on Misfits Clubhouse. It now has 24 hours to go. It ends at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We're at 34.62. If we get to 35, which is only $38 away, that's where we get to the first stretch goal, which is a couple of digital PDFs and a curious slothy bookmark. Where Slothy is, peeking over the fence to see what you're doing. That's what we have, just $38 away. If we get to 4,000, we're going to have another stretch goal there. And that's where we'd like to be able to see the campaign end on a strong note. We'd definitely love to be able to get over 100 backers. For those of you that have backed our campaigns before, this is definitely not the same style of story. But we definitely believe that anybody that's backed our campaigns before is going to like what we're doing right now and are going to be able to enjoy. If you know somebody that's a collector, you want to always be able to get in and say, I was there for issue number 1. Here's issue number 1 for you. And
that's what I'm talking about, right there.
And if you tune into the live stream tomorrow night that Steph and I are doing, we're going to be on our Facebook streams, just right there on the Facebook profiles. We'll talk a little bit about the next campaign we're going to do, which we've made sure people know, which is going to be getting the next arc, Heirs of Isildur, the Perilous Prospects. The first arc for that is going to be coming out at the beginning of next year. And we are here just talking about Deer Carcass. The first arc of that's going to be coming out next year. And we'll give you some updates on where that's going. But yeah, like I said, we really hope you guys can take a look at that campaign. Chris Evans, you better jump up there and get that before Captain America jumps up there and steals it from you.
Yeah.
But hey, like I said, I really appreciate you having me out here tonight on behalf of the InSim team to talk about the campaign and shoot the stuff a little bit with you. But hopefully you guys will take a look at it. Like I said, it's 2 great stories: Pinball Madness and Dress Up Mess Up. You get to follow the adventures of Miki, Stig, Fairy, and Sloth, and the kids from the Misfits Clubhouse.
There you go. Check it out. Back it. Get over 100 backers. Get it over 35. Get it up to $4,000. Pop them stretch goals. You guys know it's up 24 hours. The last day is always the most important. You know what's up. Especially all you people that are worried about backing something and having to not have money 3 weeks down the road. They're going to be hitting this one in the next couple of days. You know you got money on your account. You can go ahead and back this one.
That's right.
You got kids, Christmas time, go ahead and back this one.
That's right.
All that, and throw some money at Steph for the run.
That's right. Steph's got a half marathon number 19 tomorrow morning. So, by the time
you could say something like everybody who donates without a, donates to that just pledge money, give them a little something in the book for those that just pledged for Steph.
Hey, you got some good ideas, man. We'll have to think about it. That's some good stuff right there.
You know what's up. That's what I do. That's all I do is think of stuff. I don't have no money to do nothing, but I think of stuff.
The way to do it, man. Like I said, Pops, thanks for having me out here tonight, man. I really appreciate it, and hope you guys have a great rest of the night, man.
All right, you guys check it out. Matt Knowles, say hi to Steph, everybody. Give her my best tomorrow. Make sure she knows that we're rooting for her, and I will talk to you the next time you freaking launch something.
Sounds good. Hey, it's going to be January, February. We're definitely going to make it happen.
All right. You have a good night, sir.
See you.
Peace. All right, y'all. That's Matt. We love Mr. Knowles. I got commercials to play. You know how we do this. A few more to go. We'll start with this one.
When they mined an area, they put down yellow tape right across that line. See? And if you walked on the wrong side of that yellow tape, you blew up.
Strange Tales 136. I remember it very clearly, and that was my first exposure to Kirby. And I wanted to show it to people.
Thanks for coming out, Matt. Go eat your dinner, brother. Have a good night. Hope you guys kill that campaign, man. You do kill it, but I hope it just blows up over the next 24 hours.
Sunsworn Wings of Vengeance is funding now on Indiegogo. Don't miss this action-packed space fantasy adventure sure to rekindle your love for the genre. Get it now on Indiegogo or just go to sunsworn.com.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho. Santastein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Entertainment Distribution. We've got quality indie comics in hand ready to ship to you now. Yes, really. And it gets better. At Liberty, publishers set their own wholesale pricing, and we don't take any fees, so don't wait. Call or visit me today at ledg.us or call 1-800-525-2091.
Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? You need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on for you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit